Hello and welcome. You're watching Markets Today. I'm Sakshi Batra, and this is where we discuss everything about the stock market's opening action and what can you really expect as we move forward at the beginning of a new week after a truncated holiday that we actually saw yesterday on the account of Independence Day. We have 4 more days to go. So, how are the markets expected to trade? All of that will be important for you to track in case you're a stock market investor or a trader. So, do stay tuned on to with me over the next 4 to 5 odd minutes. Now, let's start off with the opening action, and then I will help you with the cues that we got and the details in the market cues that we have already. So, the markets have in fact opened on a strong note today, especially given the fact that the cues that we had got from US markets, they had shut shop on a high note on Monday, as well as continued 4 weeks of gains over the last 4 weeks as well on Friday as well. The Asian markets also opened higher, and we actually got all of those trends coming in into the Indian markets. The SGX Nifty indicating a strong start, and the Sensex, in fact, has moved up 300 points, a half a percent higher to open the day at 59,761. The Nifty up almost 80 points at 17,774, inching closer to 17,800 mark as well. The advanced decline ratio favoring the bulls at this point in time. So the US markets were also closing higher, the Asian markets higher as well. So it's a global sentiment that you're getting. The FII is also continuously buying into the Indian market. That's another factor that the markets have been cheering. In fact, in the month of August, we have seen the FIIs putting in money close to 15,000 odd crore rupees. That's helped the markets, the domestic markets, Indian markets as well are at a 4 month high. We had seen they closed at a 4 month high on August 12th when we saw the last trade at the Nifty closing near 17,700 mark. And now you have another 80 point of a jump that you're seeing for the Nifty in today's trading session as well. And this is despite the very, the kind of 3 days holiday that we got and the truncated week. So the markets will be now trading in this zone, but it is inching closer to its resistance levels of 17,800, 17,900, where remember that we have seen in the past that the markets have faced a stiff resistance, have not been able to really cross that 18,000 mark on a decisive note and surpass that level as well. Will it happen this time is the big question now. But of course, when the markets have opened on this new note, we also will be remembering through the day today and this week Mr. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, who is now no more. Over the weekend, we also got a very sombering note on a news as well that Mr. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, the ace market investor, the market guru for many lakhs of Indian stock market investors and traders, passed away, crossed over, and at the age of 62. This was following heart ailments and kidney ailments. He suffered a heart cardiac arrest on Sunday morning. In the evening, he was cremated as well. But the stock market community has been mourning his death because, and has been, there have been tributes flowing in from the entire stock markets community on social media, all across the news, talking about the larger than life that he had, the inspiration life that he had, especially for the investors, the astute market investor who was seen as a quintessential stock picker, always on the lookout for alpha. The man who started off with just 5,000 rupees in his pocket ended with a fortune of over $5 billion. He's now left with his wife. His legacy will be continued, and his children, his daughter, and two sons as well. Of course, the stock market community, the investors will continue to remember him, his style of investing, and his favorite stocks will be the talk of the town throughout the day today. We will be talking about insights on those specific stocks. Today, despite the markets rising, we are seeing a subdued action on the Rakesh Jhunjhunwala stocks. Stocks like Jubilant Pharmova, that's down in trade. Nazara Technologies, that's down in trade. His favorite, all-time favorite bet, Titan, is also down in trade. Several of these stocks will be a part of our discussion through the day today to really help you understand, in case you followed the big bull in his investment pattern, what is the way that you should move forward from here. We will speak to experts to give us an insight into what really made Big Bull a billionaire, the stocks that he invested in, what was his journey like, and what can you really expect on these particular holdings that he has going forward from here. But moving on, since we always say that the show must go on, as we will continue to remember Rakesh Jhunjhunwala for the person he was and his belief in the India growth story, we also are seeing that the Indian markets are continuing to soar high despite the kind of global turmoil that we are faced with. Of course, as we move forward, we will be looking at a whole lot of other data as well. Domestically, the CI, the industrial production data has come in positive. The inflation numbers below expectations at 6.7%, albeit is still higher than the RBI's expectations. On the industrial production front, you have a double-digit growth as well. So that's another positive. Globally, we will be looking at the US inflation data, the US macro picture as well, and the Federal Reserve minutes of the meeting as well to help us understand which way are the interest rates really headed. Back home, we are already seeing some news flows coming in. Several banks are continuing to raise their lending rates. Kotak Mahindra Bank has raised its lending rate today as well. So that's the kind of move that you're seeing on the Indian in today's trading session. We also have a whole host of stocks that will be in focus on the back of news flows. Say, for example, you do have ONGC on the back of earnings that's reacting positively. Hero Motocorp is down in trade following those earnings as well, which have been disappointing. The margins have been hit because of the high, raw material prices. Right now, as we speak, the Nifty has moved over 17,804, up 0.6% in trade, 40 stocks in the green. The top gainers including M&M, which also launched its two segments of which will be focusing on electric vehicles, especially over the weekend. Adani Ports, UPL, Asian Paints, Eicher Motors, the other gainers in trade today. On the downside, you have Grasim, Hindalco, Tata Steel, ONGC, and NTPC. ONGC now down in trade post the earnings as well. So that's the kind of setup that you're looking at. As we move forward from here, we'll keep you posted with everything that will be buzzing in the street, and you should be keeping a tab on. So do stay tuned with us. Thanks a lot for tuning in on this update.